everyone. I'm Shane. This is Jenny, and welcome to another episode of the Braincast. How are you?
Everybody, thanks for coming on. We have a few things that we need to talk about. We're trying to not brain dump, but there's so much going on, and the controversy is high right now. So, as business owners, us putting our faces out there is almost like, how is this? How is talking about these topics? How are they going to throw this in our face and paint us as a bad person in the future, basically, and put a target on our back? Okay, you go. And are you afraid? Um,
Uh,
we both
Whoops.
have had some things going on through the week. So, business wise, my week has gone. There's $30,000 in unpaid invoices coming up, and it's a low margin industry anyway. So, that means that it may be 6,000, but if we don't have that 6,000, then it's like, oh shoot, we really have no revenue coming in. It's just a low margin industry. So yeah, about $30,000 is outstanding. And then also, I got notification from my boss. So I got a new client, right? And I do taxes. So I got a new client, and my boss tells me, in the future, we really only work with clients that are about the $50 million range. So I'm like, dude, I
Me
got a
too.
good.
Can you get me some of
My
these
client has
clients?
four businesses, multiple locations, multiple pieces of equipment, machinery, about 5 million, net assets, and you know what, Jen? It's okay.
Are
What's
any of
going
them
on?
working with
Like,
AI yet? How come you're not bringing them to
just
us? Seriously.
his operations, I haven't gotten my claws into that. I'm getting my claws into that. I'm gonna be the person that actually does his tax work though. So that's really cool. Well, everything filters through it where I work. So my boss being the CPA. But yeah, I got the notification. $50 million is where I should be. Anyway, so that's how my week has gone. How has your week gone?
My week's been pretty good. The New Year's has finally kind of passed through, and a lot of the clients that we were in conversations with before Christmas have started to re engage, and there's a lot of positive things moving there. So we got probably like six new clients ready to come aboard, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. Lots of
That's cool.
distractions
That's
out in the
segue.
real world, of course, but.
So compare this to when you first started. So starting a business is one of the topics that I wanted to hit on this week. When you're starting a business, and if you were doing it 20 years ago, like me and you have experience with, it's a lot different now with AI. So right now, Brayne has only really been working maybe 6 months, a year, something like that, right? Like
We're
you've
going on
really only
14
been
months now.
okay. So you're at
14
14
months
months.
since I launched.
So breaking into this industry compared to you breaking into the industries that you did when you were younger, that has to be a huge difference. I mean, so the big thing is when people are starting a business, they focus on the wrong things. They don't
Mhm.
have the right like gears into place, and they're not responsible. Like you have to be responsible about really weird key things like who you partner with, who you hire. You have to be like, and they don't realize that they're focused on what makes them happy and oh, I want to do this today. And this is the fun part. And they leave everything else behind, which means that they have a lot, like there's a lot of waste, there's a lot of, oh, oops. But starting a business then is a lot different than starting a business now. People can just start up a business and I mean, we wouldn't even dream about having a website in 3 seconds. We wouldn't even dream about that back 20 years
Now
ago.
it
And now
used
somebody
to
can
take
have an
used to
idea, have
take
a website, have a whole.
used to take weeks to build it, and then back and forth a month, and then you'd be launched. I remember GoDaddy built my first website actually.
Oh, that was
One
an
of my
awesome
first
platform to build a
websites.
website on.
Yeah, well, they built it, and then they sold me this. Oh, we're gonna put you on Google, and I did this for like 6 months, and I never showed up. Like the thing I learned is you get on the first page of Google by paying for it. Like You're not gonna no. None of these guys that call you and say they're gonna do it for you can do it unless you're gonna put the money down for them to do it. Like ads will put you there. Google ads will put you there, 100%. But for you just to show up there organically, there are bigger businesses than you, no matter who you are, unless you're Elon, that will buy that spot and they will permanently be there no matter what.
Well, so the
Like
strategy
I'm
that
sure if
I
you
found was
Googled
really
electric cars
well, yeah. So the
locally,
strategy that
you're
I
gonna get
found
Elon.
was well, every single so if you want electric cars, that's different than I need somebody in BFE, Ohio that has something underground, da da da, and that long tail, that specific thing is like where there's some gems. There's some hidden gems in why are there so many people that have this question, and then you change, like the city, or and those keywords where that's a lot easier to get to organically, but you still don't want to pay for that. You're not going to pay for BFE Ohio. Somebody types in, what kind of electrical, system do I need, or just weird stuff, because I know nothing about that industry. But it's like those long tail things. Yeah, coming up to the front of Google with just the keyword, I need this. That first off gets expensive. I knew these guys that did the keyword search for law firms. And that was, I mean, the strategy behind that was, they would use where people are, the georeferencing or the geofence or whatever it's called, and that would be the target. They would go near hospitals. They would, and it's like that turns into a complicated mess. So you're starting a business right now, and you're like, oh well, I want to come to the top of Google because I want to go the cheap way. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Um, so
getting to the top of Google is not even really necessary anymore. We can achieve more organically through posting and through warm networks and then referrals than you're going to get by going to the top of Google. What I've learned
how do you like
is
you
the
start a
best way
conversation?
to do it is to get some customers and do a really good job. Then get them to go on camera and talk about how good of a job you did. And that's what I've done personally. And hearing from their mouths exactly how good their experience is working with Brayne AI, it's hard to really do any kind of advertising that's going to beat that. And not only that, but when they talk to their friends, they talk very highly. So most business owners are friends with business owners. And I'm building our business through referrals and through doing what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah. So, tying back to what we were saying before, is we're going to talk about some controversial things. And, online, that top of Google guy is not a guy. It's a business front. It's an entity. He's not allowed to say anything on camera in front of people because, you can't think that local HVAC guy is anything political. You don't want that. And that's how the status quo has been, but I think that will change. I honestly think that people are sick of not having a real person. So,
If you're
there's
gonna be
pros
a
and cons
man
to
in
it.
this world, you gotta have a backbone, and you're either gonna live on your feet or on your knees. And saying nothing is no better than being the person who is doing these bad things. If you say nothing about it and you don't have an opinion, how will anything change? And it's up to business owners to actually voice their opinions because we can influence more people. We have a bit of a platform, more people listen to us. So I feel personally that it's on us to state our opinions and speak clearly about them and be strong suited about it so that they can be out there kind of thing.
You can see my irritation. Like, I'm so irritated about it. It's just rising because as a woman, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight these battles. If there is a middle ground, that's where a woman would rather be, just naturally. And the fact that we have to talk about how deceitful the media is, we have to talk about how unlawful the laws are and how they change for different people. The laws are different for different people. I would not be able to pull off some of the shit that the politicians pull off without being in prison. That's a fact. Like, and it's so irritating. So I don't want to cry, but it just it's like when you talk about that. Oh, do we have to do we have to stand up? I hate being a woman. Have to stand up and talk about this. I'm a crack. My voice is cracking, and I don't like it. But you know what? Shane said so. I'm upset about it, and I don't want to talk about the ice thing, but we have to.
Take a moment.
We have to.
So the
Oh
ice thing
God.
is, it's a tragedy. I'm not going to say it's not a tragedy, but if an officer is telling you to put your vehicle in park, then you need to do as you're told. Like whether you agree with the political stance of the officer or not, you know he's got a gun. You know that there's crazy shit going on in politics right now, that there's crazy stuff going on all over the world. So you're putting yourself in a, like, number one, even if she didn't get shot, she would be going to prison. Like she would be, like, I think if she didn't get shot, she would be charged with attempted manslaughter and going to prison. And it's come out now that she has a rap sheet. She has child endangerment charges. And I hear all the liberals, and they're all talking about, oh, she was aiming her car in this direction. Like, bro, the guy had
That's right.
2 seconds to look at this woman, and this is the same guy who's been hit and dragged by a car before, and make a split life or death decision. Do I want to live or do I want to die? And he made that decision that I'm not going to let somebody else run me over, and I would make the same decision if I was him. So
Yeah, and the
he doesn't
same
have time
thing.
to look down and say, oh, your tires are pointing over there. Okay, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just let you go today, and maybe everything will be okay.
The 30 seconds that you had, hold on. Wait, let me put my timer on. I'm going to go look into this really quick. Okay, so are you forcefully turning? Or are you kind of turning? But it's still kind of at me. I don't know. Okay, hold on. That's 4 seconds. All right.
He didn't have
Like
30 seconds. He
one
had like
little
one
thing.
second.
Half a second.
Yeah.
It's half a second. A car is coming towards you. You want to know what I do when a car is coming towards me? So, first off, I have been hit by a car before. Okay. And nothing happened because nothing happens to Mexican women that, don't press the law or whatever. So I got hit by a car. But that point on, I never walk in front of cars, even if they're like, "Oh, I've stopped for you. Go ahead and go. Go ahead and go." No, you
Well,
go.
building on your
You're the
point,
car.
I've actually been ordered out of my car at gunpoint before. And what did
You
I
have
do?
you
I put my
why?
car in park. I exited the vehicle, I let the police handcuff me, and then I beat it in court, which is the system that we live in. It's not a system of, oh, I think I'm right and you're wrong, so I'm just going to drive away. In what world is that okay? Only in Democrat world or a liberal land.
It doesn't make sense. They're fighting a fight. Police officers are paid. ICE officers are paid. They're paid to do their job. Their job is to, if somebody looks either suspicious or they are a person that they do want to question, then they follow their procedures, blah, 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 and they have arrests that they make. That is their job. So you think that me getting in an ICE officer, they're called ICE officers, right? Like
Mhm.
a person that works for ICE face or a police officer's face, which I just wouldn't even believe. If I got into a police officer's face, that would be the scariest thing in my life. I don't know how these people are doing it. Like I'm not
Well,
getting
they're
he has a gun,
empowered
he has a
by the
firearm.
media. They're programmed by the media. The media is winding them up. And here's another thing that nobody knows about, but some people obviously know about it, the people that actually do their research. While all this is going on, while all this craziness is drawing everybody's attention, Russia has pulled all personnel out of Israel. So there's something else going on behind closed doors. America's about to take over Greenland. Russia's pulled out of Israel. The world is preparing for something big, and we are all distracted with this woman that did this thing. Now, I'm going to take it one further because we all know I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I've deconstructed the video a little bit. There's a dog in it that is a black blob. It looks completely like AI. There's a fucking dinosaur in the video. I found it, a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the background of the video. Don't know what it's doing there. That's a little weird. Now, the last thing that I've seen is her hand when it's out the window. A common problem with AI and human hands is they melt the fingers together. And it does that in one of the photographs and the videos that I've seen. Now, that could be AI enhancing the video on the platforms as well. But I still don't know why there's a dinosaur there. Why is the
I don't know
dinosaur
why there's a
there?
dinosaur either.
And why does the dog look like a black blob? If the dog is there, why doesn't it look like a dog? And if the dog is not there, why did they superimpose a black blob looking dog into a video? Like what? And I just,
What I didn't
I'm a
like
person that
is
asks questions. I don't just pop off and say, oh, this is what happened because the media showed it to me. Obviously, I don't
media
believe
showed it to
anything.
me. It's all good. It's all good. No.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing: is some of the videos that I first saw, I felt were in a different speed. And then, of course, there's the blurry videos, and then there's the dinosaur in the other video. So there were 17 cameras pointed on this, and they all paint a different story. So the media cuts it up. They like this one. They slow down. When it slowed down, it looks like she's like happily driving, but you weren't following the direct orders of that officer, and that is a problem, right? So you think that you can just drive away and almost hit an officer or hit him, whichever you want to call it. If she was turning left or whatever, you think that that's okay and not obeying the law is okay. That's where you turn into a regular citizen to a criminal. And that's where you get treated like a criminal. I'm sorry. You know,
Criminals get
like
shot when they run from the police.
you can't get in an officer's face. You can't. And for them to think that that's okay, that that's going to push the agenda, it's not. All they're doing is provoking media and making their grandstand. They're making their media presence stronger, and it's very sickening because our media presence, like on the let's go far right, is the vigils for Charlie Kirk, right? And compare that to the riots getting the media attention that they are. We don't stand a fucking chance. Sorry, F bomb. We don't stand a chance.
Well, the
It's too
media. So
provocative.
nobody. Here's the thing about the media. Nobody pays. Nobody buys the news. Nobody pays. It's all 100% government funded. So the media in America is funded by the Democrats mainly. Other than Fox News, it's funded funded by the other side. Anyway, the media in Canada is 100% liberal funded. So when you're hearing news in Canada, you're hearing what the liberals want you to hear, and they control the entire narrative, which makes it no longer news, it's just propaganda.
It's and then they follow a dialogue, and they're able to twist anything that you say into something negative about you. And
And very
it's like
stupid
if you
people are easily programmed, not and
easily programmed. But the thing is if NPR, the Wall Street Journal, all of these places are still writing these editorials, then all these AIs are going to say, yeah, it looks like this is happening in this country. And that's why they're pulling out of Israel. We don't know why. We barely, as a US, we barely understand what the hell is going on with anything that Russia does other than from the movies. We watched Mission
yes.
Impossible a few times,
Well, Russia
you
is
know?
is in a lot of cases the good guys in all of this. Like Putin's the one standing up for Christianity, um, as well as Muslims. Putin allows both of them to, and they live properly in Russia. Russia's
I've
streets are
never
clean.
heard.
Russia's train station is immaculate. Like it's not what they've showed us in movies. It's not a gas station with nuclear weapons, so to speak. It's beautiful.
No,
The
I'm just
people are
picturing the
nice.
Russians as the mob boss guys. That's how
Yeah.
Russia is portrayed.
Yep. But I plan to visit Russia actually this
I've
this
never
spring.
seen any. So, if I wanted to go visit Russia, I've never seen any be afraid I've seen be afraid if you're going to go to South Africa. I've seen be afraid if you're going to go to, Guyana. But I haven't seen be afraid if you're going to go to Russia. Like, and those are like, just take care of yourself. Don't go to South America by yourself, Jen. That's what people tell me. I'm not going to South America by myself ever.
South
Like,
Mexico.
well, we went to Ensenada, and that was, and honestly, that was a really cool trip. That was a really cool trip. Ensenada was cool, but shh, it was a cruise. We were with a group. We were shit, and people were complaining about the bus and the roads, and I'm like, dude, you're calling this a shithole, and Ensenada is actually not that bad. It's just a little city. It's I mean, they have CBSs. Like, it's not like the bus ride had a little bit of bumps to it. I'm like, have you ever been anywhere that's not clean and fresh streets? Like, get a life. Like, these people were complaining about it. I'm like, oh, just get back on the cruise. You're like, you're disgusting. That's a farm. Yeah, they're gonna have farm shit on the farm. They do lion shit. Like, just like, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, about white people complaining. That's it. So it's tough. It's a scary situation, and I'm glad that we talked, because it seems like the way that we talk about it is dissect this politically into how this looks in court, because it's difficult for a police officer to do his job. He was doing his job, and she should have complied. That's where it's, if you disrespect authority, I don't know, these
I think we've
masters
given
and
it enough attention personally. I think they do stuff like this and then they pump it out in the media just to distract us. There's a lot of other stuff going on in the background. I posted a meme, actually. I made it myself. It's like, I support the current thing. I'm opposed to the current thing. The current thing is only there to distract you.
yeah, we
Keep
all
you
need to
arguing. As
focus.
long as you're arguing, as long as the peasants argue amongst themselves, they're not looking up at what everybody's doing, right? And that's the goal.
So one thing before we hop off, we're trying to cut this so it's not a long hour brain dump. So brain dump. Uh, um, so one last thing, if you want to hit us with something, because you have taken steps to build a successful business, okay, and this is your businesses in the past and your business now. So give us some insight on what people, and especially to talk to these 18-year-olds, okay, because these 18-year-olds, that was so funny. So we have a language assistant where if you you make a phone call, hey, I want to go look at this property, and you're speaking in Spanish, then it will answer you in Spanish. And so I asked the guys, I'm like, hey, do you guys have a quick video? And they're like, this one is the asshole AI. And they like recorded and like this, I can turn down the cockiness. And it's like, dude, that's what the 18-year-olds are like, hey, check this out. Like,
Those are
and
my
it's like, no
18 year
guys.
olds, though. Most 18-year-olds are out there watching crap, playing video games, and sitting on Pornhub. The guys that I have are actually, these guys are killers, and we'll have to thank Andrew Tate for helping create these kind of young men.
I took my dry scoop. I didn't take a whole scoop. That would make me like wiry. I take like a quarter scoop, but I did the quarter dry scoop today for all
I
the
do.
women hair on
I,
my chest or
I
whatever.
do my fire blood every single day as well. Maybe we can get a sponsorship. We'll have to send that to Professor Alex.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm doing a lot better on all that, and I appreciate that too, because we meet these 18-year-olds that do have the fire still. They do have, like, they haven't been beat down by society. I remember being that young too, where I was like, I could build anything. Oh, I could do this, and they have that right now. And you get to mine and your age, and we're like, we're tired. We see issues
Speak for
before they happen,
yourself. I'm a
because
killer. I spend two
well,
hours a day
we're
in the
tired.
gym.
So you can't you can't say like, okay, I wake up in the morning and I'm go 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 after you've been beaten down a few times by the realities of how much stuff costs, the realities of how hard it is to start a business. Yeah, it's like these 18-year-olds, they're just fresh, they're ready to go. I don't know about being tired, but not having that reality, not having
But
the
when
memory
I
of
was
those type
18
of
is
things.
when I actually that's when I figured out that I wanted to be self-employed. And how I started my first business was going door to door, and I knocked on people's doors. You can't really do that anymore because, well, people are afraid to answer the
You can,
door
yes.
anyway. But I knock on doors and they say, "Is there any kind of landscaping that I could do for you for some money?" And that's how I started my first business. I got my first job that way, and I ended up spending my entire summer on one street because the neighbor passed me to the next guy, to the next guy, to the next guy. And by the time I left that street, I had a pickup truck, a saw, I had a wheelbarrow, I had shovels, rakes. I started out with nothing. I was on foot just trying to do odd jobs. And by the end of a 2 month summer, I had stuff. And I had no employees. It was just me. I did everything myself. I rented trailers to get rid of dirt, and I ordered brick, had it all delivered, had everything delivered. It was a nightmare because like I didn't even have a cell phone. So I had to call and order stuff on a corded phone and then wait for it to arrive, sit on the site, maybe spend a whole day waiting for materials to arrive and not get anything done, and then oh well, back to work tomorrow. Everything's here now, you know. It was a completely different time. It was hard, yes, but I loved it. Looking back on it now, it really built the drive and work ethic that I bring into all my businesses. So now we have automation, which really simplifies things. We can automate outreach, we can automate responses, we can automate your phone. You never have to miss calls. We can automate bookings. So really, the only thing business owners have to do right now is hire Brayne AI, first of all, and then close deals. We can automate their whole process. We can qualify their customers. All of that can be done for you. The only problem is some people are still hesitant. They're like, oh, we like the personal touch. We don't want to automate that portion. We brand ourselves on the human touch. That's great, but be prepared to go out of business because you're spending money where you don't have to and others aren't.
Well,
And
a
you're
typical
losing
business.
speed.
uh, True. A typical business, they're going to hire an employee for, low rate to answer the phone. And they're going to expect, well, I want your sales to increase. And they'll try it out and they'll say, okay, well, maybe I'll put you on commission. Or maybe I'll give you a bonus if you close more sales. And they expect that person on the phone to be able to handle situations the way that they would. And that's never going to happen. The business owner is always going to be the best salesperson in the company, most of the time. And so they want that. But the comfort of when I call somebody and I get a detailed explanation and I'm able to ask the questions that I want. Like, hey, I have this situation where I have 30 feet, I need a whole dog, down, like, I need to talk to, like, that feeling of calling six people or calling six businesses, not having any pricing, that first person that answers the phone and getting some kind of, okay, I will call you back and take care of you. So if you have an AI that's able to let the person brain up that information. Yeah, we usually call back in 30 minutes to 3 hours or something like that, and that makes the person feel like, okay, I've
Well,
given
we
them
can
all
even
the information
program
they
the
need.
AI to answer those questions.
Yeah,
Some people
and
are
even
fine with the
program it to
AI
answer
even
those
giving out
questions.
pricing. It's all dependent on the customer. Like certain people, certain
Painting,
businesses don't mind. Like
siding.
we have a men's clinic that we help right now, and their pricing is very transparent. Our AI agent answers all their pricing questions as well
That's it.
because it's very
Is
simple.
it cocky?
No, It- it's like for men that need like anything from stem cells to test TRT, stuff like this, some stuff to improve their overall health.
In a cocky way.
But no, only our own private AIs are cocky like that. It's a Jarvis base, based on Jarvis from Iron Man. That's something that I like personally, so that's why it's
It was
like that.
funny. I don't remember what he said, but it was funny. It was good. I think you said, "Oh, would you like me to put on the hat and become an amigo?" And then he like said something like that, and then started speaking in Spanish. It was good.
Is that what he said?
Something
Oh
like
man.
that. He's oh, he's like, all right, compadre. Oh no, I have it in the chat. It was great. It was great. Anyway,
All
I
right.
love the
Well,
show.
yep.
I appreciate, all the listeners. Watch us some more. Take at least a half scoop. If you're a woman, at least take a half scoop. That's, I don't
Full
want to
scoop
do
if you're
full
a
scoop,
man.
but I don't want to do full scoop. I won't shut up. We'll be done for. And come back next week
And
and
just so
yeah,
everybody
contact
knows,
us.
we're preparing to start taking on some guests here on the Braincast. So if you own a business and you're interested in coming on, talking about some current events, maybe talking about your business and how you got it started and where you're at now, we'd love to have you as a guest.
Very cool. All right, Shane. I'll talk to you later.
Peace.